This season was a momentous one for Heart of Midlothian Football Club. It saw them play in Europe, the departure of their manager to be replaced by a Hearts hero. Moments of despair and elation, and a revival, which promise great things for the future. This is the story of season 2000-2001. First match of the season was one for the club to relish, a fixture to get the campaign off to a flyer, a derby clash against their old rivals Hibs. Once again, Antiniemi was outstanding.
Well, these balls have been looking very good, and again, it's still in play, just past. Well, Severin came up very well to take that. Look at the confusion in this Hibs defence there, not clearing the lines at all well. Just tucked back in there by Tomaszek. Once again, the value of this man who can curl the ball in well. Better clearance, adjusted, no, so close. It looked as if Wanjo would find the net. He came up and took that position excellently as he came out of the box like that, pouncing on it right away. And I wonder if the connection hadn't been made inside the box, it would have gone into the net. Now then, the Hibs support calling out for Soze this time. This is well within his range. Soze eyeing it up very carefully. Get two free kicks. Second one was nearer than the first. Yes, he's going for it again, and a brilliant save. And no wonder Soze is complimenting the goalkeeper for this. Almost getting in, it took the bar, but the hand got there first. Nice touch by Pedalinin. And there it is, he comes to score, is he going to score? No! How did he miss it? Tomaszek, the saviour, suddenly popping up. I know how agonizingly slow that was turned round by Agat. Really should have stuck it away there. And indeed, that was played away by Flogel. It was Flogel who came in and took it, and that just touched over. Up came Philip, the big Canadian international. Wanjo. Citizen ball out of Gauss, Fulton. Naismith, there's Jesper! No side on it. Well, the two players right at the top of it. Severin was there, Solskjaer, and neither of them could put it away. Here's Wanjo. I think he might just get away. Lawson is after him. That's a very good ball, and Soze did get his head to it. Here's Gary Naismith, brilliantly set, down again. First Naismith, when he fires this in, the ball coming across here, you can see Naismith, great effort there. And then headed in by Gary McSwegan.
By the time the first game comes along, you know, you're champing at the bit, you can't wait for the first game to start, and like I say, there was an added edge because it was a derby, and you know, a lot of expectations. It was a great game to start with. Unfortunately, you know, it maybe not been a great game for the fans to watch, but you know, a draw was probably a fair result.
The Hearts players had to show their fighting spirit in their next fixture against St Johnstone. They got off to a poor start and soon found themselves trailing by 2 goals. But it would not remain so for long.
Flugel. He's managed to survive that challenge from Boland.
Jim Weir did well at the back post there.
Fulton is going to send it back in though, and Severin is in there! Spectacular save! Wonderful reflexes from Alan Main, who denies Scott Severin. Presley always misjudged that, and Lovenkrantz is in here, and Graham Jones makes it 2-0, and surely seals it for St Johnstone. The Hearts are to mount a salvage operation. Now is the time. Tomaszek's header, and O'Neill, oh, he's going to bundle it in! Chris O'Neill, the youngster, has given Hearts hope. Wanjo's corner, Presley rising, but Silla cleared it only as far as Makel, who's going to blast it straight back out to the little Spaniard. Wanjo delivers again. Silla clears again. Here, though, is Fulton. Now O'Neill. It's a quaint little cross, and it's an equaliser for Hearts. And it's Robert Tomaszek. And incredibly, they have come from 2 goals down to surely salvage a point.
Well, we've been talking about the poor final delivery from Hearts, but what a good ball this is in here. Tomaszek just loses his marker there at the front post, the deftest of touches. Great ball in by Chris O'Neill. Tomaszek unmarked, and Alan Main, well, absolutely blameless there. This just requires the deftest of touches there from Tomaszek.
Victory in Europe came 4 days later, when Hearts overcame IBV in Iceland by 2-0. However, back in the SPL, a win was proving to be elusive. Celtic's new manager, Martin O'Neill, brought his side to Edinburgh for Hearts' first encounter with the old firm. Tynecastle hopes were high, but despite a good performance, they lost 4-2. However, Wanjo gave the fans a goal to remember.
Tomaszek is there, so is Severin. Oh, that's it! He took that very cleanly. Severin coming up on it, but that had to be of the finest judgment. A cluster of players in front of him. Can't be too many spaces, and there's the little crack that appeared. Smith picked up that one. The ball's still in play. O'Neill with it. Wanjo's done it! Brilliant goal by Wanjo. Great play by O'Neill as he went down the left-hand side, and Wanjo coming in on it there. Always a difficult ball to take, falling away to your right-hand side, and he put it in with the greatest of aplomb.
Hearts progressed to the next round of the UEFA Cup, finishing off the Icelandic Challenge, beating IBV 3-0 at Tynecastle. In the league, although dominating the match, Hearts left it late to again salvage a point. The new look Dundee took the lead when their player-manager Ivano Bonetti started the move, which resulted in Caballero delivering an unstoppable shot.
Oh, a good ball into Colin Cameron. Can he finish? Oh, that was a chance for Colin Cameron. Bonetti covering. Oh, he lets in Wanjo here. That's a penalty. That's a definite penalty. And for the man who created Dundee's goal, he's now given a chance back and a lifeline to Hearts. Well, there was no doubt in my mind, as soon as he headed the ball away, there was the tug on the shirt. And that is a penalty. And from hero to villain, here comes Cameron, and that is 1-1.
The players knew it was important not to let the lack of victories affect their morale.
Football's a funny game, you know. One day you could be on a high, and the next day you could be down there. And it's basically how everybody adapts to it. And the better everybody adapts to it, you know, the less downs you're going to have.
It wasn't a great start to the season, but I mean, you've got to get that out of your head, and you've got to prepare for every game coming up and try and put a run of wins together. So I don't think it really did affect the morale. I think it was just the boys had to really get behind each other and start getting wins.
That came in their very next game. A 1-0 loss away against Stuttgart and a repeat score at Ibrox made the team more determined to succeed in the league. Growing injury list made it difficult for Jim Jeffries to field a consistent lineup. That took its toll when Hearts lost at home to Kilmarnock, which would prove costly later in the season. The European dream also ended. Despite beating Stuttgart 3-2 at Tynecastle, Hearts went out on away goals. Ex-Ranger Gordon Durie made his debut against Motherwell in October. He was keen to prove he had plenty to offer Hearts, and on his first showing, looked promising and scored 2 goals. Dundee United were Hearts' next victims. Robert Tomaszek started the rout, finding acres of space amongst the bemused defence. Ulsterman Andy Kirk couldn't resist sharing his delight when he converted a Hwangjo corner. The Spaniard again tormented United, providing Andy Kirk with an opportunity, which he made look easy. Kevin James gave Hearts their 7th goal in 2 games, where he drove home a powerful shot, leaving Combe helpless. But Hearts' joy was short-lived. The next match was to bring heartache to everyone connected with the club. Although they scored first, they lost 6-2 against their rivals Hibs.
It was really hard for me. It was one of my worst experiences of football, really. The game started well for us. The first 15 minutes we were playing really well. I managed to score a first goal, so after that we just really fell apart.
The squad had to show their professionalism and were determined not to let the result linger in their memory.
You have to forget it, and I know it's hard to forget, especially for the supporters and everybody in the club. You know, was really down. Also the players. I think the players I'm the most disappointed. I'm most disappointed as anybody else, and but you have to keep going, you know. And there was the next game was right on the next Saturday, and we had to play well in this game, and we had to prove ourselves.
To be honest, I don't think it's too difficult at all, because you do it for a living. That's your job, and we all know that in football we have good and bad games, and I think that game was just, you know, one-off, and as you can see in the derby games, anything can happen.
You've got to look to the next game and try and get a win and try and get it really out of your system.
But Hearts lost their next game 3-0 to St Johnstone, and although they took eventual winners Celtic to extra time in the CIS Cup, they lost again. A victory was badly needed for everyone concerned at the club.
Good play, a good burst from midfield by Colin Cameron. This is a chance to open the scoring, and Colin Cameron does. Number 7 of the season for the Scotland midfielder, and so typical of what he does best. 24 minutes on the clock, busting through from the midfield, and a certainty to score from this sort of situation. It's a good turn, and a brilliant effort from Andy Kirk. So close to number 2 for Hearts. Wanjo to Fulton. Wanjo again, tempting ball in, and Scott Severin makes it 2 for Hearts. Timed his run into the penalty box perfectly there, did Scott Severin. Petrich, and left by Cameron for Fulton. Andy Kirk could be in for number 3. Yes, he is. Wonderful finish from Kirk. Another dispiriting moment for Aberdeen because they were opened up all too easily. But credit to Kirk for the finish.
But behind the scenes, all was not well. The rumours surrounding Jim Jeffries' departure proved to be true. That was his final game in charge of the team. It came as a shock to many of the players.
That was a difficult period for the players. You know, a lot of the players had worked under Jim Jeffries for a long time. You know, it was a shock to us all. I got a phone call myself from a press boy saying that he'd left the club, so it was a major shock for me.
I just saw Jim Jeffries every day in training, and he never said any word or anything that he wants to leave the club, and that made it really difficult for us, I think, because also the other players just heard rumours, but they never expected he's leaving really so quickly during the season.
I think you have an inkling, but at the same time, you know, it never sort of prepares you for the actual eventuality of actually happening. And it always takes a little bit of time, you know, to sink in, because like I say, I mean, Jim Jeffries brought me to the club, so for me it was a big thing. Like I say, because he brought me to the club and he basically showed me the ropes here, and then he gave me the captaincy. So it was a big thing for me, for him to be moving on.
Under caretaker coach Peter Houston, Hearts again had to prove their professionalism and get on with their task. But against Dundee, it looked as if things may not be back on track. Hearts fought back when Grant Murray scored his first goal of the season from a Wanjo corner. Colin Cameron showed he had dispelled the effect of the manager's departure when he drove the ball past a helpless Ricati. Once again, Ivano Bonetti conceded a penalty against Hearts when he chopped down Stevie Fulton in injury time. The referee was in no doubt about the outcome. It was left to the captain to put the points beyond dispute. All the speculation surrounding the new head coach ended on the 1st of December, when ex-Hearts and Scotland defender Craig Levein was appointed. As a Hearts player from 1983 to 1995, he realised the challenge of following Jim Jeffries.
Well, it was going to be difficult because he'd done such a good job here. But the Hearts job's something that I don't think that I could ever turn down, whether it was following Jim Jeffries or anybody else. I felt it was something that I'd wanted to do since I gave up playing, and the opportunity probably arose a little bit earlier than I thought it would. But there's no way I was going to turn it down.
Every coach has his own ideas on how his team should play. For the players, it can be difficult to initially come to terms with the new regime. However, after a settling in period, the hard work began to pay dividends.
The new manager, he's came in, he's got his own views about things, and since he's come in, we've worked a lot more on the shape of the team, what to do when you've not got the ball. And I think in his own way, you just have to look at the stats, and we've conceded a far lot less goals than what we did in the first half of the season.
Yeah, he's made a difference to my game already. He's come in and he speaks to me all the time about my games. Everything can add to your game, and he's certainly pointed out a lot of wee things in my game that I think have improved over the period he's been there. But I'm well aware I've still got a lot more to learn over the forthcoming years.
Craig has been just fantastic. From the first moment he came in, nobody had any troubles with him, and he's done a good job. Because he used to be a defender, and for goalkeeper, that's a pleasing, because I think in the early part of the season we were losing 1 or 2 goals too many, and like I said, he used to be a defender. He wanted us to defend better, and I think we've done that.
Craig's first match was a daunting task for any coach. A clash with the champions of the Premier League.
And now there's room down this side for Hearts and Hwang-jo. What is an attacking look about Hearts this afternoon. Hwang-jo, Gordon Jury and Andy Kirk up front. Here's Colin Cameron. And Jury playing against his former side. Cameron with the first effort. He is a man who does seem destined to go places, Colin Cameron. Here, Amoruso. It's a great ball for Ferguson. What a great run from Ferguson. He's brought down by Petric. And Petric can't believe it. The penalty has been given. First goal, always vital in a game such as this. Can Alberts do it for Rangers? But De Boer has the strength to hold him off. And he can't quite take the ball with him, Ronald De Boer. Cameron picks up nicely for Hearts. And there's promise here in this move. 3 players down that far side. Ball comes in. It's a chance for Jury, and a great save by Klaus. Fulton now in the corner. Klaus is there, punches out only as far as a Hearts man. Jury again. Klaus at the second attempt. Niemi now has time to send the ball back down the park. I don't think there'll be anything clever or subtle about this one. Looking for a head. That head could be Jury. Plays it forward. A chance now for Hearts. Once again, Stefan Klaus to the rescue for Rangers. And eventually cleared. And now Hearts in the break. This is Kirk. He's got Hwang-jo with him. Good shot from Kirk. Oh, good effort. Whistled over the crossbar. Very difficult now for Rangers to keep possession. Hearts with men in space. They have an overlap on both sides. Here's Milne, Kenny Milne, the substitute. That's a great ball too. There's a real chance now for Hearts. In the back, a good save again by Klaus. Nielsen. Ball across, and a chance now for Hearts. Again, it's Klaus to the rescue. How on earth did Hearts not score there?
Craig Levein took his side to Rugby Park looking for a victory. That was delivered in an emphatic fashion when Stevie Fulton beat the defence for the opener. A defensive error allowed Andy Kirk to show his fine control when he chipped Marshall, who could only watch the ball sail into his net. Andy wrapped up the points when he pounced on the Kilmarnock defence, thoroughly punishing their error. Craig Levein had yet to achieve a home win. That would come when Dundee United visited Tynecastle. After 3 minutes, Colin Cameron steadied his side, scoring his 50th goal for the club. 15 minutes later, Neil Heaney scored a goal worthy of Terry Butcher when he bulleted a header past his own bemused keeper. That spurred on United when Hasni Al Joffrey scored from a rebound, the unforgiving bounce beating Ante Niemi. Derek Lilly's problems began when he hauled down Grant Murray and was subsequently booked for his efforts. Referee Kevin Toner wisely played the advantage when Lilly brought down Hwangju. Gary McSwegan driving home Hearts' third, giving him his first goal since September. There was no escaping the referee for Lilly when he was sent off after the Hearts celebrations. No matter what other supporters may say, there is something special about a Hearts-Hibs derby. Edinburgh is polarised the week before these clashes, and the tension can be felt throughout the city. Craig Levein was not contemplating a defeat in his first confrontation as head coach.
Well, derby matches are important because you know it's the bragging rights for your supporters for the next 2 or 3 months, and all defeats by Hibs are felt very deeply by everybody associated with the club. So there is an added importance.
I think everybody's really up for it the whole week for this derby game. Everybody's looking forward to these games, and everybody wants to play. And you can see in training, everybody's trying hard. Everybody's is trying his best, and also in the dressing room, there's a good mood in the dressing room, and this makes it really special, these games.
Milne Rose, McSwegan! Ooh, so close, it was diverted wide for a corner.
That's a terrific glance on here by the wide player. And he gets up so well, Kenny Milne. Gary McSwegan, well, terrific piece of striking this on the half-turn.
But Hearts had to show their resilience when Hibs took the lead through Stuart Lovell.
Yeah, it's a different atmosphere. When it's a Saturday game, and you know from Monday, you sense that there's something special going to happen. Obviously, for the fans and so, it's a big one, and the players, they know that you don't want to lose that game. It's a special atmosphere.
With that expectation, Ante Niemi was not about to let the Hearts fans down.
Jack did well. Andrews takes over, and he gives it to Patalainen, and a fantastic save from Patalainen's fellow Finn, Niemi.
That's a terrific save. Patalainen just drops off Gordon Petric here onto his left side, and Niemi, well, perhaps even with his wrong hand here, because it's his left hand he takes it with. Good save.
Hwangju leaves it for Locke. Fulton. McSwegan. Oh yes! He squeezed it in. Gary McSwegan, and Hearts hit back. It's 1-1.
That's an absolutely wonderful finish here. Takes this on the half volley. Look at that. Didn't have to be asked twice. On the half volley, bounces just in front of him. And to be fair to Colgan, it was never getting to that, it's bending away from him.
Strikers often take the glory in matches, but at the opposite end of the park, Hearts have a player equal of any goal scorer, their goalkeeper, Ante Niemi.
And Henrik Larsson's flashing header might well have been a scorer had it not been for Ante Niemi.
Such performances give the whole team a great confidence boost, knowing they can depend on their number one, no matter the opposition.
Oh, definitely. I think it goes the whole way through the team. You just think he's going to save everything that comes at him, really. That must be great for the likes of Stephen Pressey and that playing at the back, knowing that they've got a goalkeeper like that behind them, really.
Well, Santi's an exceptional goalkeeper. You know, I knew he was a good goalkeeper before he came here, but it wasn't until working with him I realised just how good Ante was. You know, for the money Hearts paid for him, I think it's been a fantastic piece of business.
Petter's cross. Wonder save by Ante Niemi. How did that stay out? Mjällby still quite believe this. Unmarked, powerful header, it had to be a goal. Antti Niemi thought otherwise. Sensational stuff from Niemi.
Yeah, it's great for the defence, it's great for the manager, you know, when you know you have somebody as good as Antti Niemi as your last line of defence. And he's saved us on numerous occasions this year from losing points, whether it be getting us a draw when we might have got beat, or winning a game when we might have drawn a game. And he's had a wonderful season.
Back in the league, the players were still coming to terms with the demands of the new coach. Although Hearts scored first at an Arctic McDermott Park through Andy Kirk in only 5 minutes. St Johnstone then fought back, scoring 2 goals before half-time. It took substitute Gordon Jury to level the score when he tucked away a late equaliser from a McSwegan cross. In many seasons, there is a decisive moment when the club has to take stock of its situation and react accordingly. That happened on the 2nd of January, after Hearts lost 1-0 to Aberdeen. It was a turning point for the whole squad.
That's a game that stands out, because I think that was the time that we recognised that we had to change things and try and steer a different course.
The coach acted decisively. He publicly criticised his players for their performance, then cut short their winter break, bringing them back to Tynecastle for extra training. His message was not lost on the players.
I think the players were hurt by the fact that, you know, the game before we broke off, we had another disappointing game against Aberdeen up at Pittodrie, where we just never done it, and it was really disappointing, and the manager expressed his feelings about it. So I think the players were more determined to make sure that, you know, we never felt like that again.
Craig Levein knew he had to change the team. Gary Locke had played his last game for Hearts. McSwegan and Jury would no longer feature, and Darren Jackson and Gordon Petrich would move on.
Nobody likes to tell people that their contracts aren't going to be renewed or they've got to move on. But realistically, if the manager doesn't do that, who will do it? You know, it's got to happen. You know, if the club isn't heading in the right direction, somebody has to make changes. And unfortunately, some people are going to be upset by that. But I think that I don't ever want any of these things to be personal. I think that I'm trying to do my best for Hearts Football Club, and some of these decisions are going to be harsh on some people, but that's just the way it is.
That philosophy worked for Hearts. From then on, they were undefeated in the league, except against Rangers and Celtic. Their first victims were St Mirren. The fans thought their team had scored when Stephen Presley's header hit the bar, only for McSwegan's effort to be caught on the line by the Saints keeper. Their newfound determination was epitomised by Robert Tomaszek, who battled for and won the ball, allowing him to cut it back to Gary McSwegan, only to see his shot saved by Roy. The waiting for Hearts ended when Tomaszek was brought down by Turner in the box, leaving Colin Cameron the task of securing the 3 points. February saw Hearts' biggest victory of the season, a remarkable 7-1 victory over Dunfermline. In 5 minutes, Stefan Adam began the demolition with his first goal in 14 months as he latched onto Tomaszek's flick-on. It looked as if the Frenchman might make it a double when he beat the defence, only for Andy Kirk to slot home the second.
Your confidence is high and you go out and you feel like you're always going to score. You're just waiting on the challenge coming, but I think that's the most important thing for a centre forward, really. Everybody really was looking forward to the game. We got the early goal, which gave us a lift, and the supporters got right behind us, and it just carried on from there. The performance that day was immense, really.
The onslaught continued when Robbie Nielsen provided a long pass for Colin Cameron, who bypassed the hesitant Rosenbeck. The fourth came from a well-worked move. Tomaszek fed Boyack through the defence, allowing Adam to smash the ball home.
I think we started the game very well, and Jimmy Calderwood had previously experimented with changing the system when his team were behind. And he did that, and we'd watched them do it a couple of weeks beforehand and had the opportunity to talk about what we would do if Dunfermline did change the system. And lucky enough for us, we were prepared well for it, and you know, things just clicked. Just about all our chances went in the back of the net, and a lot of players played close to their best.
Some inept defending and gutsy attacking from Andy Kirk gave Hearts their fifth when Adam's shot wasn't held, allowing the captain to convert an easy goal.
It was one of the games where everything that we'd done seemed to go right. And you get games like that on the same occasion. You get games where everything you seem to do is just not happening for you. But I think in these cases the important thing is to just keep the head down and keep working hard. And like I say, if you keep working hard, then you're going to get a lot more times like the Dunfermline game than you are, say, the Hibs game.
That hard work paid off when Andy Kirk worked an excellent 1-2 with Tomaszek, giving the striker his second and Hearts their sixth. All of Tomaszek's hard work was rewarded when he got the seventh goal and Hearts' biggest ever SPL victory. After a disappointing Scottish Cup exit at the hands of Celtic, Hearts had to improve their prospects in the league. Thomas Flogel couldn't hide his happiness after netting the first against Kilmarnock.
Oh yes, I remember, because it was the only one I scored this year. But we played well. We had a couple of chances in the first half. You know, it was hard to come in the game because Kilmarnock had a really hard defence, and I think they battled well. But then it was a good break from us, and a 1-2 with Swigi, and it was a superb goal for us. And I'm happy that we won the game.
It was a defensive error that saw Gordon Marshall sent off after handling outside the box. The resulting free kick was expertly placed in the top corner by Hwangju. The third came from an acrobatic drive when Scott Severin smashed the ball past Meldrum. The game had been an excellent one for Thomas Flogel, who this season has been asked to play in many different positions.
I think it's helpful if players can play more than one position, and I think that Thomas is a typical example. Thomas is somebody who you ask him to play right back, he'll play there, left back, he'll play there, midfield, he'll play there. He's played up front for us, and that adaptability makes sure that he's always playing, and I think it's something that, if it's at all possible, that other players should have the same adaptability.
It's really enjoyable for me. Maybe earlier, when I was younger, I always wanted to keep my position. I wanted to play behind the strikers. I remember when I've been in Austria, I played for them. I always wanted to play behind them, but I put the pressure on myself, you know. And now I must say, I'm maybe too experienced, you know, that it's really worrying me to play on different positions. Sometimes I need maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the game to find my steps and the new position, but after that it seems to be all right.
On the last day of March, Hearts met Motherwell. If they won, it would secure a place in the top 6, and they would replace Kilmarnock in 4th place in the league. Tomaszek showed the way with the goal of the season. That brilliant strike is just one example of how Robert's presence has grown this season. Andy Kirk was again on the score sheet when he hit a powerful header from a perfect Boyack cross. Andy's tally, which would eventually make him Hearts' top league goal scorer, was increased when he netted another unstoppable header. By now, the team's spirit was stronger than ever, and its importance was being realised on the park.
Team spirit was coming back to us since the new manager was coming in. And this is really important, that everybody runs for his teammate. You know, everybody is on the pitch for each other, and everybody fights for it, for every ball. And this is very important for the game, for the whole season.
I've been in a few clubs, and you know, the squad we have at the moment couldn't be any better. We have great personalities in a dressing room, and you can just name anyone. We have a great team spirit and couldn't get any better.
The race was now on for a place in Europe. At one stage, Hearts were 10 points behind Kilmarnock, but their determination meant that the European place would be decided on the very last day of the season. However, in April, that moment seemed far in the future.
Just keep it in, Thompson going back with him. Boyack. That's a better ball by Boyack, and it's there! Wales comes in at the far post, and that was an imagination. Good play on the right-hand side, and this time Wales got away from the markers. Boyack, full credit to him for the way he swerved that in.
The draw meant that for Hearts, their next game would be one of the most important of the season. Kilmarnock was the opposition. Hearts were determined not to be beaten. But without Thomas Vogel and Robert Tomaszek, their task was made more difficult.
Oh, mistake by Webster has let in Andy McLaren, and surely this time, what a save from Antti Niemi.
That's a magnificent save. And we've seen him do this a few times this season here. The mistake here by Andy Webster, who must have thought he was going to be punished here. McLaren takes it onto his left side, and Niemi does so well here to spread himself.
Once again, Antti Niemi would show why he was considered Player of the Year by so many fans.
McGowan scored from a free kick. He's in there lurking once more, away by Presley. Back in by Gary Hay. And what a chance here! Oh, and it's been pushed just wide, has it? I think Niemi might have got a touch.
Sits up nicely for him, drives it into the ground. I think Niemi did enough just with the fingertips there. Good flick on, and it's a terrific stop again.
Adam, and Dandaloo caught out by that. Stephen Boyack looking for Kirk in the middle. He's found him, and Andy Kirk has given Hearts a precious lead in the race for a place in Europe.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Ian. The sucker punch. And for me, it was always going to come from Andy Kirk. Good ball by Adam to release Boyack. A quick look up, the ball into the perfect area. Maybe a hint of offside there as it came in. But it's a terrific finish, head over the ball, made sure he kept it down. And it's a very decent delivery from Stephen Boyack.
But only 3 minutes later, Kilmarnock hit back when McGowan hit an unstoppable free kick to level the score. The match was an even-sided affair, but for Hearts fans, an incident in the first half would make the match memorable.
Now the penalty is given. Stephen Presley.
Took a while to give it there, Ian. I think it's been given by the assistant, because I think this happened in the blind side here of Dougie MacDonald as it comes into the box. Surface doesn't do him any favours. Well, that's hardly conclusive, I have to say. That for me is chest.
Antti Niemi would need all of his skills to keep Hearts' hopes alive.
You know, it's a 50-50 chance. If he gets right which way to go, then you always have a chance. But yeah, I make my decisions before the striker gets a shot.
But against Christoph Kokard, It was the goalkeeper's luck that Antti had to rely on.
Christoph Kokard. Oh, he's hit the post, and it doesn't quite go in. Back off Niemi, and maybe justice is done.
In the last derby of the season, it was again a penalty decision that would decide the outcome. For the visiting Gorgie supporters, it was to become one of the highlights of the season.
Zitelli, he could be in here looking for a winner, goes down, penalty given! Right at the end, Grant Murray's challenge, a last-minute penalty for Hibs.
Well, we talked about Antti Niemi earlier on, and I feel that you've always got a chance when he's in goals, and I think that there is a case to be made that maybe that when somebody's placing the ball and they look up and they see Antti and they know he's in good form, they become a little bit nervous.
You have that in the back of your mind. I was just praying that he'd miss it.
Well, the pressure is on the man who scored a hat-trick here when Hibs thrashed Hearts 6-2 back in October. Today, one goal might be enough for Mixu Patalainen. Oh, Patalainen puts it over! An astonishing end to the Edinburgh derby. It stays at 0-0.
That just sums the game up. Alec McLeish in front of us cannot believe this. And I'm sure he can't believe the standard of finishing throughout the game, because Hibs suffered so many chances, none better than from 12 yards out, only the goalkeeper to beat. And again, you have to hit the target.
For the Hearts fans, that moment epitomised their loyalty and support for their club. The team never underestimates their importance.
Fans are hugely important, you know, especially we've got a really tight stadium here at Tynecastle. You know, when they get right behind the team, and the noise is incredible, and that people talk about an extra man, and that can be the case. I think the thing about them is that we have to try and kick-start them and make sure that we give them something to cheer about, and then it grows from there. The players respond to the noise that they make, and they again respond to how the players are playing.
The first real experience I had of him was against Stuttgart. That was my first, well, that's when I first broke into the team this year. And the support that night, it was like having an extra man out in the pitch. It was unbelievable, really. They give you that much of a lift, and you get your adrenaline's going, and it gives you an extra couple of yards in your legs, really.
I would say they're involved really in the club, you know. When they're in the stadium, I think, and there's a good crowd, a good noise at the games, it really helps us. In the big games, the fans were tremendous. I remember against Stuttgart away, there were, I don't know how many in there, I think 2,000 or something, and they were outstanding. I was really surprised, because they were much louder than their own ones, than the Stuttgart supporters, and this is a really good thing. And I hope that everybody's staying with the Hearts, you know, and they're enjoying to come to the games, they're enjoying to come to Tynecastle, because we really need them.
The Stuttgart home tie stood out not only for the players, but also for the supporters whose encouragement and willpower spurred their team to victory on an unforgettable night.
Krasimir Balakov swerving, bending, but not a good enough contact in the middle to be troublesome for Hearts. As well played by Andy Kirk. Colin Cameron. Good start. Hildebrand back to the penalty box to get there before Thomas Vogel. It's a rousing beginning from Hearts, and every indication here that the supporters will respond if Hearts can come up with a performance. The in-swinger, and it's Stephen Presley. Hearts take the lead, and it's level overall. 16 minutes gone. The first Hearts set piece. The presence of James and Petric was crucial. Kevin James got a touch at the near post, the faintest of touches, and there was Stephen Pressley to drive the ball behind Hildebrand.
Dundee, cushioned header for Sights. Cuts inside Gary Naismith.
It's a good one from Jochen Seitz. And Dundee! Stuttgart have equalised.
A bit of jostling for position in the penalty box. In comes the corner kick from Seitz.
That was Hosney, did well to squeeze the ball in. And it's Bordon, the Brazilian, who surely kills off Hearts' hopes in Europe.
But the Brazilian and the rest of the Stuttgart team did not allow for the remarkable fighting spirit of the Hearts side, who would not let the club or the supporters down.
In from Naismith. And Hearts have equalised on the night. And it's Gordan Petric. The ball was over the line before Balakov palmed it clear. Again, it's from the set piece, the corner kick, that Hearts strike. First it was Pressley, now Petric.
Pinto feinted one within the other. Useful ball in, off the head of Stephen Pressley. And grabbed by Niemi. McSwaggan's after it.
Good play from Gary McSwaggan, surely he was fouled. McSwaggan looks for a penalty kick. He says that was in the box. It was McSwaggan against Meisner. He got round him. And now the penalty has been given. Can Colin Cameron put Hearts back in front on the night? Oh, yes he can! 3-2, but Hearts need another goal. And we're all set for a spine-tingling 7 minutes or so. One more goal will take Hearts into the second round of the UEFA Cup. This could be interesting. Petric and James await. In from Wanjo, punched away by Hildebrand. Nielsen. Hearts want to keep themselves onside. They have done. Chance for Petric! Nielsen's throw. Up went James. But it was Todd who got the ball away. Back in from Cameron. And again Colin Cameron. Grant Murray found a good header. In goes Stephen Pressley against Bordon. Desperate stuff from Stuttgart. Bradley Cocknell hammered that one away. We've played 90 minutes, but 5 to be added. Petric with the header. And Colin Cameron! Good hit. Good save by Hildebrand. Bang on target from the Hearts skipper.
The supporters' performance that night continued right through to the last day of the season, when once again Hearts' fate in Europe would be decided.
Fair chance, and again so far it's in. Adam has got there. Stephen Adams scores after 6 minutes.
But despite beating Dundee 2-0, their fate was sealed when an understrength Celtic lost to Kilmarnock, ending Hearts' European dream.
The fact that we didn't get into Europe, well, you know, it's not about one game, it's about a whole season, and we didn't do well enough over the whole season. I'm disappointed, not for myself, but more for the players, for the effort that they put in the latter half of the season. And I think that the fact that the fans stayed behind yesterday after the game to applaud their efforts, I think the fans know when they see 11 players who pull the Hearts jersey on, trying their best for the club, and I think that that's what they want to see every week.
Season 2000-2001 was another turning point in Hearts' long history. Their new coach is determined to take Hearts to the status they deserve in Scottish and European football. Every member of the squad knows what it means to play for such a great club.
When you're doing a good job, it's amazing that you've got thousands of people that are admiring you, which for me is hard to grasp sometimes, because at the end of the day, I'm only doing a job like any other person is doing. It's a great feeling. You know, like I say, they're a big club in the capital city, and like I say, I'm very fortunate to play for a team like Hearts.
It means a hell of a lot to me. I came across here and I really wanted to do well for my family and everybody, so I mean, breaking in the first team, the support that I've had from the fans and that has been tremendous, so I mean, I owe a lot to them, a lot to the players, and it's just, it really means a lot to me getting out there every week and putting the jersey on.
Well, I didn't arrive at Hearts in 1983 as a Hearts supporter, but you know, the connection's gone on for such a long time now that you get to know people associated with the club and get a feeling for the club, and I've always had a great rapport with the supporters from day one, and that just grows, and it's very difficult to after this period of time to think of any other team as being my number one team, and Hearts certainly are that now, and the longer I'm here, the greater that feeling grows for me.
That commitment and dedication is now the hallmark of Hearts. For the club, the supporters and the players, next season cannot come too soon.